welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm back at the auctions. Now I took your guys' feedback from the last video and I think I agree with you guys on the fact that I should do more than one vehicle at a time. So today I'm gonna experiment. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a balance between being able to provide you guys with the YouTube shorts that I'm continuously doing, as well as be able to provide you guys with a little bit more longer form content that feels a little bit more raw and uncut. So you guys get to see all the little minor details that I have to exclude from the YouTube shorts sometimes. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to announce that I have dropped my first line of merch. So if you guys want to support me in any way, that could be a good way to do it. But if not, hey, that's totally cool. Now for the weather report, it is not raining. And it's so funny because you guys in the comments keep asking me, where's the rain? Like I have some control of how this stuff works. So unfortunately there's no rain, but it is very cloudy. So maybe we'll get a little bit of rain. You never know. Let's go check out some automobiles, shall we? All right, the first car that I just came across is this Nissan 350Z. And right off the bat, they're trying to sell me on the fact that it's a Nismo, but I am almost certain this thing is not. The first thing that I see right off the bat, it is a convertible. Now, I feel like people are gonna be very polarizing in the comments saying if they like the convertibles or don't like the convertibles. Personally, I'm more of a little bit of a slick top kind of guy when it comes to the 350Zs, but I wouldn't completely disregard it because the body on it looks really good. It's making me think that it's something beyond just what's on the outside and maybe something happening on the inside of this one. Now the paint does look pretty faded and you can tell that this car hasn't really been taken care of. It looks like somebody's never polished or waxed this thing and now it's getting past the clear coat. And this almost feels like sandpaper. I don't know if you can hear that, which is not a very good sign. It's got these wheels that I believe that you could put on in Midnight Club. So this is a certain amount of taste for somebody that wants to put this on their Z. Personally, I probably wouldn't do something like that, but hey, I know there's people that are totally into that stuff. I don't know, this could be a good platform for starting somewhere. A lot of people like to use these as like a drift platform. Now let's take a look at the engine. Yeah, it's interesting. It just doesn't have the engine cover, but it looks like everything is here. Pretty encouraging. It looks like somebody tried to gain access to the battery. So I'm gonna guess this battery is dead because half the time that I'm here, the battery is always dead on the cars that I want to check out. I don't know if somebody's been messing around in here, but it all looks there. We can even check the oil if you want. See if there's anything in it. But these engines have the weirdest dipsticks ever. It comes out at like an angle and it's in this very obscure position. And I remember from my G35 that it was always hard to get a reading, but it looks like it has oil in it, which is good. Now I'm gonna have to spend the next week trying to put this thing back in. Oh, and I got lucky. Okay, so it looks like this car does run and drive. So for those at the auctions that want to know, when you see D on the window, that typically tells you that this car runs and drives. Now, what that means in the auction world is that they were able to start it up and they were able to move it a few feet forward and a few feet back. Now, most of these cars get planted here on a giant forklift. The reason that they constitute that is because they can't have people test driving the cars. You know, that would just be a huge waste of time just due to the mass volume of cars that are constantly coming in and out. So they're gonna move the car a few feet forward, a few feet back, and it doesn't even matter if the engine's knocking or whatever, like as long as it moves, then it's considered a run and drive. So kind of take that with a grain of salt. It looks like this car has 110,000 miles on the clock, which is not bad. A little bit of the trim is missing on the door handle, but that's not a biggie. Now, I will say the positive for this one is the interior looks really good. A lot of this stuff will clean up. Of course, you're gonna get a little bit of bolster wear. That's pretty common, and even a little bit of rusting. So maybe some moisture was coming in due to the soft top. But I will say I don't see any holes in the soft top, but I do see a little bit of condensation coming in. And honestly, this is very common for a lot of soft top cars that are exposed to the elements because as you guys know, it's always raining here. I just tried putting the key in and it's got absolutely no juice in it, so I'm not able to pull up the mileage. But I would guess that maybe this has under 200,000 miles. That's just a total shot in the dark. It does have this fancy little Sony entertainment system, or doubled-in stereo, whatever you want to call it. The little cubbyhole cover is missing here, but everything else seems to be here. And I don't know, it's not bad. I can honestly get down with this for a convertible. I will say that it does have some sort of a short shifter because the throw is like almost nothing. So let's go through the gears real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I mean, your pretty typical Z stuff here. So maybe you guys can let me know if this is a good one. So let's move on to the next one. All right, right, guys, I just came across this 2008 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Now, this is, I believe, the 505 horsepower LS7 model. It's got all the bells and whistles, but the thing is, it maybe has some electronic gremlins because it looks like there's no window that's gone up, and it looks like a whole bunch of just weather has been coming inside this car. I mean, you could see all the rain and all the leaves that are packing up on the passenger side, but it's got the 6-speed manual transmission. It's got the doubled in. I mean, this is a nice car. And it looks like the only primary damage is up here in the front, which doesn't actually look too bad. It actually looks really easy. But it suspects me to believe that something happened to the undercarriage because for whatever reason, it looks like there's not too much going on here, but I'm sure that there's something more to this because somebody wouldn't just throw this out for no reason. It's got the LS7. Yeah, looks really good. I do see that the intake got bumped off from the accident, so maybe this is like a structural frame that's coming across here to the front. This might be a better engine swap donor, as much as I hate to say it, because you never know what's going on with this thing. It'd be a complete roll of the dice. Maybe you guys let me know. Is this something worth buying? It's got the dual twin tip exhaust. I bet this thing sounds amazing when it's running. I already tried the key, but there's no way it's gonna fire. There's a lot of moisture happening in this car. Now it looks like a rat or some sort of creature has been trying to live inside the vents, which is very encouraging. And I don't know what this is. Is this some sort of composite fiberglass material that's happening here? But anyways, it's just degrading into nothing. Maybe one of you guys know more about these Z06s than I do. Here's one last look at it. Very, very nice looking car. All right, guys, I got another honorable mention here. 2016 BMW M4. And this one is really tragic. It got hit so hard in this corner that it completely shredded the crash beam and all the other complicated bits that come with this BMW. Because as we all know, these modern BMWs are very, very scary to own, especially when they get into an accident like this. So I'm almost suspecting to believe that all of these parts are worth more than the car altogether if you really wanted to put this thing back together. But it is a shame because, I mean, look, the wheels are practically brand new. It's got the vents on the side with the little M4 badging on it. It's got the mirrors, 70,000 miles. The interior looks flawless. I mean, it looks really nice on the inside, even though the airbags did deploy in all corners of this one. Just one of those things where not really going to see this one getting put back together anytime soon. But it's nice to look at, that's for sure. Yeah, shame. All right, guys, I'm looking at a 2022 Toyota GR86. And I mean, dude, these things just came out and it's already at an auction. So I'm going to show you guys exactly why this car is here. And it's a pretty straightforward one, but it's really a shame. I mean, before I go look at the damage, I mean, the body is so clean. He's even got the little rain guard covers that go along the body. I mean, that's just like a little attention to detail. Like, you could tell they like the car. But here is where the body damage is at. And it's right here. It got smacked really hard in this corner. Now, I will say, just from eyeballing this, it doesn't look like anything in the suspension got hurt. But this is a huge hit. You know, this is a huge structural portion of the car. If somebody were to go out there and maybe if you cut this piece of the quarter panel off and you replace it with one that's on a good car, that may be the way to go. But it's going to take a lot of effort to bring this back to its original shape and have everything line up correctly. So to get this thing to look symmetrical and look okay, it would take a lot of money and effort to do it. But at the end of the day, you're saving a GR86, and it's a very valuable car at the end of the day, so it might be worth it, but you have to get it for the right price. You'd have to get it for really cheap. But even in this condition, it's probably still gonna go for a lot of money. Now, it's only got 3,000 miles on the clock, which is insane. And when we go look on the inside, it looks like they left us some gifts. Ooh, is this like suede? I didn't even know they came with that. That's pretty fancy. And I just realized now that it's an automatic. Why would you buy this car in an automatic? Sorry for all the automatic drivers out there, but I mean, just look at the seats. I mean, come on. This is practically brand new. And it looks like it's got some juice in it because something is displaying on the dash. So let's see if I can get in here and move this stuff to the side. We just want to see if it fires. got a little push to start. Go right here. There's a lot of lights. No device connected, no thank you. This thing is loud. Has it got an aftermarket exhaust on it? I guess it was a cold start, but it looks like the exhaust did get hurt. I don't think that's factory. This thing's too loud. But I mean, just look at the undercarriage. Look at how clean. It's like brand new. AWE. Maybe somebody in the comments knows. Yeah, what a shame. Sounds very smooth. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Something's rattling back there. And to cap off today's video, what better car to look at than this Chrysler PT Cruiser? This car is just so fascinating and kind of goofy and funny that I thought it'd just be fun to take a look at this thing. There is so much to talk about that I don't even think I can get it all into one YouTube short. So I think this is pretty much perfect. Now I do see that they are a football fan. That's a good place to start. And whoever the previous owner is, they kind of went all out with this thing, and you can tell. It's got this like visor cap looking spoiler thing that is so bizarre, and I don't even know if this is something that you can buy or if this is something off of eBay, because there's like this gap so that the air can channel through. So it makes it almost more aerodynamic in a sense, which is pretty cool. Now this may have been a Woody model. Now some of these PT Cruisers, they came with this giant wood trim that would go all over the car. But who knows, maybe it's for something else, because this almost looks like the stuff that you get at like an arts and crafts store. But I will say, besides that, the body's pretty clean. The paint's definitely not, and it looks like it's been sitting for as long as time will let it. These tires look like they're a gazillion years old. Can't say I've ever seen factory option PT Cruiser rails. How did this person get this Taco Del Mar PT Cruiser emblem? Okay, now things are starting to make sense. So this is a Woody model. And when I open up the back door, it's got every Woody panel imaginable. So when you buy this car, you can turn it back into a Woody if you'd like. But it just makes you wonder, why would they take it off in the first place? And I already can tell this car has been sitting forever. Because the first thing to go is the seat belts. A lot of people think when it comes to mildew and mold that you're gonna see it on the seats and on the dash and stuff like that. But the first place to always look is the seat belts, because for whatever reason, the fabric holds in moisture and they get moldy very quickly. But I will say, besides that, the seats are in somewhat decent condition. It doesn't smell too great in here. I'm gonna admit that. I'm even kind of skeeved and grossed out by just smelling this thing right now, but I do it for you guys, so here you go. Even got the matching blue trim, as well as with the zip ties. You put, and it doesn't stay still. So their solution was to put zip ties. I mean, that's brilliant. That's some engineering that I can get behind. I like that a lot. All right, this thing's got 126,000 miles on the clock. God. So for the people that have been telling me to bring a battery pack with me, they actually don't allow it at this auction that I'm currently at, or else I totally would. I can maybe run up to the front desk and see if they have a jump pack, but for now, let's see if this rose through the gears. And this shift knob is... Whoa. Why? Why would you do that? There's no threads. Does it stay like that? Nope. Well, whatever. Oh, that feels kind of sloppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you can see the amount of play. When I put it into gear, it looks like it's in neutral. So like when I go to first, it like resets. moves to the side. So there's gotta be a little bit of play in the bushings, but I guess it doesn't feel like that terrible. All right, guys, so I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. So let me know what you guys think. Was today's selections to your liking? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you gonna go out and buy a PT Cruiser? I'm always curious to hear what you guys say in the comments because you guys are pretty funny. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.